Denali. Join me as I show you how to do this fun MONTEE bracelet, the Denali bracelet. It's going to be featuring Montees and some RounDuo beads. If you need any of those materials, go ahead and look below the video in the description, and we'll get links back to the website where you can gather up all your supplies. Let's get started. So to begin this simple MONTEE design, we're using 8 seed beads, 15s, RounDuos, and some SS12 Montees. And I have on my size 11 needle a stop bead at the end of 5 feet of thread. The stop bead is going to come off the project and not be used. The first thing we're going to do is decorate the side of the RounDuo bead, and we'll add the clasp after. We're going to do a RounDuo, then we're going to do a 15 and an 8 and a 15. I want you to come back through the RounDuo, so from the first hole to the second hole. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. 15, 8, 15, and back through. That decorates the outside of the RounDuo bead, and that's going to be the start of the project as we build this base. From here, we're going to come out the second hole, and we're going to do a little bit of a right angle weave unit. So I'm going to flip this over so you can see it in the back. From here, I'm coming out through the 15-0 just because that's where my needle stopped. And I'm going to take my needle and thread all the way over so that it's coming out after my RounDuo bead. After the RounDuo bead here, we're going to exit and we're going to build on. So we're going to build on a raw unit with an additional raw unit, basically. So we're going to add a 15-0 seed bead. Then after the 15-0 seed beads, we're going to add another one, and 1, 2, 3, and 4 of my 8-0 seed beads. The reason I'm adding the 4 8-0 is because they're going to become my little kind of picot trim on the outside. I'm going to take my needle and thread back through bead number 1 toward bead number 2 in that group of 8s. That's going to make that into that little right angle weave unit there. Slide that down right into place. Add 2 more 15s and go through another one of your RounDuos. Coming out there on the opposite side, we're going to repeat doing 1 and 2 15s followed by 1, 2, 3, and 4 8s. Once again, just like we did, we're going to go back to 8 number 1 and sew back through it, coming out before 8 number 2. Slide that down. Grab 1 and 2 more 15s. And then you're going to go back through that same first RounDuo through hole number 2. Excuse me. That gets that first little right angle weave unit there. So you can see that first little right angle weave unit there is going to give you the base for you to connect Montees as well. We're going to continue to then go through, get back up to the top. We're going to add the Montees after. So we're going to create our base first. I like doing this because then it gives me an opportunity to add my clasp and it kind of stiffens it up a little bit. Coming out of that RounDuo bead through hole number 2 here, the stopper bead is down towards the side. I'm going to go up through, just like regular right angle weave, through the 15, that first 8, and the 2 15s after. Pull nice and tight, go through the RounDuo. And now here's where you're doing your sides again. So we're just repeating the pattern over and over to create that base line. Here on the side of the RounDuo, 15, 8, 15. Over to the opposite side of that same RounDuo bead. Decorate the exterior there. 15, 8, 15. Back through hole number 1 of that same RounDuo. Skip over so that you're coming out of the second hole of the RounDuo. If you want to, you can go through the seed beads like I did in the first one. You don't have to because it's going to get covered actually. So I'm just going to hop right away from hole number 1 to hole number 2. Saves me some time. And now once again, 1 and 2 seed beads, 1, 2, 3, and 4 eighths. Once you get those 4 eighths on, so back through number 1 toward number 2 and out. That's going to get our little right angle weave unit on the exterior. Push that down towards your round trio, or your round duo rather. 2 more seed beads go on and grab your next round duo. Follow again with the 2 15s, 3 eighths. So we can do this on the opposite side here. Once that's down there, I'm going to once again, always with that group of 4, sew through bead number 1 and come out before bead number 2. Once you're through there, nice tight pull so you get that nice tight right angle unit. 2 more 15s go on and back into the round duo from the previous one. That brings this into your next little right angle weave unit there. From here, go back through the seed beads along the side, 2 15s, your bottom or your first 8, back through the next 2 15s, and out the round duo. Now we're on repeat. Decorate the sides of the round duo from hole number 1 to number 2 with your 8-ohs and your 15, and continue on building this base. Now that I've built my base, I'm going to add my clasp here. I'm coming out of my last round duo bead, and I'm going to add a 15, a second 15, and 8. And then I'm going to catch on to my clasp there, going up through the Claspgarten clasp, coming back down through the 8. Going to go in here and do 1 and 2 more 15s into the opposite side of that last round duo bead. And out. Now we're going to reinforce. So we're going to go in and take our thread and needle up through that one more time. Go in through the 15s and the 8. If you guys change this up at all too, make sure that you comment on the video. Let us know how you change it up. That helps build up this community, which is amazing. We also have a lot of new Montees in, so check those out over at PotomacBeads. All right, going in here, I'm going through my round duo again, having come off the clasp. And now we get to have fun and make a little sparkle and shine to the front. So along the front here, we are going to be connecting to the round duos, and we are going to be creating an X over top of the round duo. When we switch from one hole to the other hole of the round duo, we also add a little seed bead surprise. So coming out the round duo here, what we're going to do is we're going to add a 15, and then we're going to, along the sides here, add 1 and 2 and 3 15s, go to the opposite side, and add that seed bead layer on top as well. Now normally you're going to be able to do that kind of in one fell swoop. Back over to the round duo through that same first hole. And then I'm going to tuck my thread and needle so you don't see it towards the back, so I don't need to sew through anything. It's getting tight through that round duo, but it's also hitting a seed bead on the opposite side here. I'm going to kind of turn it over, look and see where it's hitting, and bring it out there. All right, now that my round duos have the little seed beads along the outer edge there, almost familiar with the bezeled beauty if you've ever done that. We're going to go from our top hole to our bottom hole of our round duo bead. I'm just sneaking underneath here, not sewing through anything, just going through and hiding my thread there underneath. Coming out here, we are going to add our first of our Montees. So if you've never added or used Montees before, they have 2 holes. They crisscross in the back there, and we're going to be adding a collection of 2 15s and then our Montee and 2 15s again. So 2 15 and then our Montee, 215, and we're going to go from the hole number 2 there of our round duo into hole number 1 of the next round duo. When I go into hole number 1, I'm going into the opposite side. So I'm going to go right here into that opposite side and have that lay on the side. 1 and 2 15-0s. Make sure your Montee's sitting up, that you're going through the correct hole. Come out of that Montee through that crisscross hole. 1 and 2 15s. And back through hole number 2 of the first round duo. And out. Nice tight pull, and that puts that pretty Montee right in the middle. From here, we're going to go into piece here. I'm going to go and reinforce through the Montee along the side there. You can also go below the bracelet. It's kind of up to you. I'm going to go through that first hole of the round duo as well, making sure that I'm not catching on to any seed beads. We're going to circle around, adding our 3 of our 15-0s there to make it look rounded. We can also do that after the fact. It's up to you. Go into the round duo. You can also do it too when you are doing the Montees between, and I'll show you how to do that on the next one. 3 go on into the next round duo, or to that same round duo through hole number 1 and out. That just again decorates the outside of it. Drop down to hole number 2 and come on out, and then Montees go on. So the Montees go on with 1 and 2 15s, followed by one of those SS12 Montees, followed by 1 and 2 15s. Coming out the right-hand side of the second hole of the round duo above, we're going to go opposite left-hand hole, or left-hand side, and out hole number 1 of our round duo. And just out the round duo. Make sure that stays to the top. And if you want to now, you can do your 3 seed beads here, 3 seed beads here, and then back in. So it doesn't really matter which one. Here you can see the Montees kind of laying to the bottom. Again, as you put out more of my seed beads here, as you get 2 seed beads on, you're going to pull your Montee. So that way the hole cooperates and it's facing up. Through that Montee crisscrossing, add 2 more 15s. And once again, through that second hole of the round duo before. And out. When you're at this stage here, I always make sure those seed beads are concentrated to the top. The Montee's pulled nice and tightly. I don't see any extra thread. And that makes our seed beads to sit and cooperate, that they look like little crowns sitting on the side. Continue on, same thing, adding in your seed beads along the side of the round duos, and then adding in your Montees crisscrossing on top. Coming out of my last one here, I'm going to repeat the same. So I've decorated the sides. I pulled my stop bead a little bit out of the way, and I'm going to go in and I'm going to put 1 and 2 of my 15s along with 1 of my 8, going up through my clasp, coming back down through the 8. And then as I do that, I'm going to grab 1 and 2 more 15s, kind of cleaning up my mat here, into my round duo bead through that second hole, or that first hole, out the opposite side. And once again, then I'm going to reinforce this, going back up through the clasp, up through the 15s, the 8, clasp, back down. And then once I get done reinforcing it 2 or 3 times, I'm going to tie this thread off to the back to finish off my bracelet. And that is then going to get burned down by my thread burner. And you can see how pretty and elegant this design is. Whether or not you do it silver or gold, you could change up the colors too of the 15, and even go bigger in the Montee if you want the crystal to really stand out. Jumping from an SS12 to an SS20 and just eliminating one of the 15-0s. Lots of options for this beautiful design, and hopefully you post pictures in our Facebook group for beading and jewelry making. Thanks so much for joining me in creating this fun Denali bracelet. I can't wait to see your different pictures of color combos and Montee sizes as well. Remember, if you do need materials still for this, go ahead and look below the video in the description. There's a little button that says show more. Hit that little button and then you'll get links back to our site. As always, if you haven't yet, hit that little subscribe button so you don't miss anything from us here at Potomac Beads. Thanks so much for watching, Potomac Beaters, and stay tuned for more inspirational designs.